All right, check out Hayes Investment Group, stock and cryptocurrency investing. He wants you guys to know he give out free game on his YouTube channel right there, Neighborhood Stock Guide on Instagram. Cornelius Hayes about the stock market and how to invest your money. You want a one-on-one, hit him directly up on Instagram, Cornelius Hayes, right on your screen. So you get it popping to get that extra money. In my Cardi B voice, appreciate the love and support. Check him out. Peace.
All right, the Jags are reluctant to call Trevor Lawrence their starting quarterback, but first let's start with the GOAT. Tom Brady saying that a team that he wanted to go to turned him down. So let's talk about it. Appreciate the love, support. He was on the shop with LeBron, y'all king. He went on and says which quarterback was Tom Brady calling a mother effer. It was a clip. I can't play it. It's HBO, but in the less than a 10-second clip, there's a preview on the shop. Tom Brady still managed to provide some of the spiciest NFL commentary of the offseason. The preview for the upcoming episode on HBO. So shop, you can get it on HBO. You know, HBO Max as well too. HBO Max is amazing. I was watching Dukes in the Laboratory yesterday, man. Also, I was watching the Black Adam versus Superman and Shazam. But shout out to HBO Max is great. In the clip, Brady, who will be a guest on Friday's episode, was recalling his 2020 free agency journey when he was he threw serious shade at a team who pursued him, but decided to stick. He said, I pursued him, okay, but decided to stick to their incumbent quarterback instead. Quote, one of the teams they were interested at the very end, I was thinking, you're sticking with that mother effer, Brady said at the end. So, you know, they got some candidates, but it says the question, I'm reading from New York Post, the question on everybody's mind, who is the motherfucker in question, based on what we know about Brady's free agent courtship, which ended with him signing with the Buccaneers. We can narrow it down to a few suspects. Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers might be a very, very high on most people's list because he's from the Bay Area. And, but I don't understand why they wouldn't dump Jimmy Garoppolo. It was no really more guaranteed money in his contract. But it says Twitter really seems to think Brady's former teammate, the one-time heir apparent, is the target of the scoring. The 49ers were leaked to Brady throughout the search of 2020, and at one point, there were rumors San Francisco was interested in moving Jimmy Garoppolo to New England if they were able to land the future Hall of Famer. Brady grew up in the Bay Area. A fighter 49ers fan, there was obvious mutual interest. So for the hometown team, decided to stick with a guy the Patriots tried to replace him with a couple years earlier. One understands why Brady would call him a mother effer. So that's one. I would agree that may be high on the list. But that wasn't my first. It was one of my first. This is one of the biggest one in my opinion. Ryan Tannehill was one. Tannehill played great, and I understand why they would stick with Tannehill because his athletic ability allows Derrick Henry to really run wild, too. His bootlegs, and, Ryan Tannehill ain't no slouch as well. My other dog, he's sick, man. He got something wrong with his stomach, so we'll see tomorrow if his stomach get better here. His stomach get better, if Miles get better. Cool, if he don't, to the vet he goes. But I called him, they said wait a day or two. But the Titans were quiet publicly in the running for Brady's services for Ryan Tannehill. The quarterback has a close relationship with the Tennessee coach Mike Vrabel, and they were former teammates with the Patriots. Vrabel was caught on camera FaceTiming Brady at Syracuse, North Carolina basketball game last March, just days before free agency began. However, the Titans locked up Ryan Tannehill on March 17th. 3 days before Brady signed with the Buccaneers. It's quite possible Brady used the phrase "in just" to his friend Vrabel for one with the former Dolphins QB instead. You can't really blame him. Tannehill was unquestionably excellent in 2019, led the Tennessee in the AFC Championship game, and followed it up with another playoff season. They say Mitchell Trubisky's in the Chicago Bears. That's a possibility, but I don't think so. But he says, surprise piece of news came out right around the beginning of 2020, saying that the Bears were one of the finalists for Brady's services. Dan Patrick reported that Chicago was in the running until the very end, along with the Chargers and the Buccaneers. The Bears end up giving Mitchell Trubisky one last year. Could Trubisky be the mother effer? The Bears fans have certainly called similar things on more than one occasion, as the team infamously took him over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. The same report said Brady didn't go to Chicago because he preferred not to play in cold weather, but one can imagine, so that's not there. So right now we could rule out Mitchell Trubisky. And we could rule out Tennessee too, okay, because he's snow there. Drew Brees. A wild card was thrown in the equation Tuesday morning when ESPN's Get Up had a panel discussing the very topic. Insider Jeff Darlington waited until the last possible moment to reveal that Brady nearly signed with one of the Bucs' biggest rivals. Quote, I think people will underestimate how close Tom Brady was to signing with the New Orleans Saints. Boy. But ultimately he decided to pick the Bucs. Darcy said, I know that's going to be a statement because people try to question it's the truth. If Brady were indeed calling Breeze a motherfucker, it would be a term of endearment, as Breeze is one of the few quarterbacks in NFL history to rival Breeze in terms of career accomplishments. Brady in career accomplishment. But it's an interesting revelation, a fascinating one, waited for the balance of power in the NFC South. So I don't think it's Chicago. I don't think it's New Orleans. I don't think it's Tennessee. I think the 49ers or another wild card was the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that's what it was. I think he wanted to go to Vegas. That's just my opinion. I think it was Vegas, and that's the first team that come to my mind because I know that I know Derek Carr got a contract coming up. He ain't got that much guaranteed money left, if any. I think that's the in my mind that's the team in my opinion, either 49ers or the Raiders. All right, but I know he glad he didn't go to 49ers. They had to play their games and I think it was Arizona. They had to play their games in Arizona. So yeah, I think but that's just my humble opinion. Let me know who you think the team was Tom Brady was getting jiggy with it. Nah. Who is getting jiggy one? I can't get jiggy with this. He said this. But he says Brian Schottenheimer, he is the passing game coordinator for the Jaguars, having named the starting quarterback for 2020 for the Jaguars. A year, wait for NFL.com. A year change for the Jaguars hadn't spared anyone, including Gardner Minshew's mock. Where Minshew stands with the club remains intriguing, though, because while the Jaguars are clearly moving into a new era under center, Minshew is still around, and despite what one might say about the backup seated behind the newly anointed savior of the franchise, Minshew, talking about Trevor Lawrence, Minshew still carries value. The question then is Minshew's role to be with the new look Jaguars. Passing game coordinator Brian Schottenheimer cautioned against assuming Minshew was entrenched at number 2 when asked about the position group Wednesday, especially after the Jaguars added veteran passer C.J. Beathard in the offseason. In mind at this stage, everything remains wide open, even after the Jags spent the number 1 pick over on Clemson star Trevor Lawrence. Quote, we will again, I don't agree 100%, Schottenheimer said on Wednesday on Minshew projected standing as the second option under center. We certainly haven't named a starter. Our objective from day one was to build the starting quarterback room that we could. We knew what we had in Gardner. CJ was the guy we really looked at on the field. We saw him a lot. Make him a lot of plays and have some of the athleticism that we really, really liked from our quarterback. Jake Luton was highly thought of last year. I know we really liked him in Seattle when he came out. And then, of course, we get a chance to add Trevor Lawrence into the mix. You're going to do that, but we're in a position where we saying, hey, no 1, 2, 3, 4. Quote, continue quote. We're letting the ball roll. Everybody's getting reps. We want the thing to be really competitive. Ultimately, when we name a starter, we'll name a starter. And Urban will do that when he's ready. But I've just enjoyed watching these guys compete. Like I said, from Gardner Minshew standpoint, he's an alpha. He's got leadership qualities. You love that. CJ come in here. He had to catch up on some of the offensive stuff, but because some of the verbiage here stayed the same with Coach, the offensive line, Coach George, worth staying. And then, of course, Jake is the guy Jake's just been the guy probably the least amount of reps, but every time he's been out there, he's been moved the team. He's done things where we are like, wow, that's really great. I'm thrilled with where we are right now in the quarterback room. It's still too early to say how things are going to play out. My thing is this. You don't take somebody all the way up at number 1 and then say, not in this era, maybe years, maybe back in the day, and say we don't know who our number 1 is. I think they know exactly what it is. I know Trevor Lawrence threw some picks in training camp. I know he did that, and still, but not to be concerned. Even though 707s without a pass rush is meant for the team to the offense to be successful, but Tua threw like 5 picks a couple weeks ago in OTAs or whatever you want to call it, mandatory OTAs or mandatory minicamp, whatever it was. But I think it's gonna be Trevor Lawrence. I think they got some people around there. You got a seasoned offensive coordinator, Darrell Belvedere, that was in Detroit with my Lions. I think he's gonna be the starter, unless he's just doing that bad, and then people gonna start really saying the bust. Then you got a situation where all the first round quarterbacks sitting. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields is set to sit behind Andy Dalton in Chicago. Then you got old boy, what's his name from Alabama? He gonna sit behind Cam Newton, even though he threw the ball better in the rain than Cam. So I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know how it's really gonna play down, but I'm expecting. Gardner Minshew was a good quarterback. He's somebody I wanted in Detroit to bridge the gap with Matthew Stafford. We ended up with Jared Goff, but I'm not surprised. I think Gardner Minshew, I think he'll have an opportunity to land somewhere nice. But he's a good quarterback. He's just in a messed up situation with a lot of young guys last year. But ultimately, I think Trevor Lawrence started till otherwise said. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to check out the NFL Talk playlist. Let me know what you think about Brady. Let me know what you think about the Jaguars not naming the starter. CJ Beathard, Jake somebody, Gardner Minshew, Trevor Lawrence. Don't forget me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out anytime. You got a business question, inquiry, sponsored video request. All our social media links in the description. Twitter, fastest way then, so on. You want to make Facebook group and link description as well too. You want to make a financial donation, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Appreciate the love support. One time for the one time. Let me know what you think in the comment section.